Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Zeba Nation Plays the FM Scout Academy Challenge with FC Dallas. And I've had some technical difficulties recently, and some of our matches that I recorded didn't record very well, not up to snuff anyway, so I'm not going to upload those. I figured I just go on with the series and just upload something once the quality worked itself out. Anytime updates happen, my recording software kind of freaks out. So we've got all of that straightened out now as far as I can tell, so I'm going to try again. But here we go. I'm not going to go back and replay some games because I played some games and I've got an older save I could go back to, but you know what? We're doing so well, I don't want to go back and replay those games again. So we're just going to show you where we're at. And where we're at is the top of the table. That's right. We're past mid-season point. We're already into three-quarter season point, and we're first table. We're top of the table. 26 games played, 14 wins, 5 draws, 7 losses, for a total of 47 points. We're doing very well. We're even top of the Supporter Shield. Not just winning the Western Conference, we're winning the entire league. Got a 4-point lead over rivals Chicago at the moment. Now in the Western Conference, we've got Vancouver nipping at our heels. We had a draw against them in our last match. And honestly, the last little bit, our form hasn't been great. In the last 5 games, we've had 2 losses, 2 draws, and a win. And that one win was in the U.S. Cup, which is the game we're going to be watching today versus Los Angeles. But, other than our recent form, we've been doing okay. We've been doing better than okay. We've been doing very well, the best we've done in a few seasons. So I think playoffs are a certainty. We haven't missed the playoffs really since we started. I think we made the playoffs every season. Yeah, we have. All right, but this season we got a chance to finish top of the table. We got a real chance to win the Supporter Shield, and I'm not going to let that slide. So, where do we go from here? We can look at our competitions a little bit, I guess. We can look at our stats. Our stats are interesting this time around because last couple of seasons we've had lots of players at the top of the league, especially in goals and assists and things like that. But this season, not so much. We don't have a single guy in the top 10 in goals here. You look at this, Diego Rubio from Sporting Kansas City is top. Simon Dominguez from Houston is second place. There's old James Ramirez at Minnesota. So I don't know exactly what the deal is in terms of our players not being at the top of the list because we've played a pretty standard lineup most of the season. We haven't had a ton of injuries. So there's something else going on here, something maybe philosophical happening. I'm not sure. We have our last couple of seasons, we've had our individuals shining, but our team performance lacking. Now this season, our team performance is shining, and our individual performance is maybe not lacking, but it's down a little bit from where it was. So I've been watching a lot of Ghost in the Shell recently, just to in anticipation of the new movie. So maybe that sort of philosophy is blending in, mixing realities here. And we're sublimating our individual selves in to benefit the team. I don't know, or maybe just like seeing naked robots turn invisible and shoot people in the face. I mean that could be morale boosting too, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, most assists in the league again. We have Ulloa, who's tied for 6th place. No, he's all alone in 6th place with 6 assists. Again, that's not a tremendous amount, and it's not very high on the list. There's several players ahead of him. So he's really our top performer this year. And, most seasons you could argue he's one of our top performers. So there's no real surprise there. But again, Houston at the top of the list here. Kevin Morales up there. Shea Adams from Los Angeles, 2nd place. So we're doing okay offensively, as I'll look at that earlier. But it's defensively where we're really doing things, and we can look at that. Least conceded here. We have our goalkeeper, second place, Jesse Gonzalez, with only 17 goals allowed in 22 appearances. And that's pretty good. Most seasons, I think that would be number one, but we got old Patrick Rakowski here from Philadelphia, German, with 14 goals allowed this season. That's really low. He's had only 20 appearances, but still allowing only 14 goals in 20 appearances is pretty darn good for this league anyway. And but that kind of shows our overall defensive improvement. Last couple of seasons, our defense was a little low, even though we were scoring a lot of goals and number one offense kind of thing. But this season, our defense has really shown up, and we can look at that in the team stats. We're still second in goals, even though we have nobody on the top goal scoring list. So that shows you just how spread out our goals are and how well the team is performing as a whole. We have 42 goals as a team. We're second only to Houston. As you can see from this list, the Western Conference is pretty high scoring this season, with Houston, Los Angeles, Vancouver, Sporting Kansas City all there at the top of the table. So we've had to score basically to keep up with these guys. Most headers were up there, third place, of course. That's one of the things I always look for is heading. Possession, third place. That's a pretty good indicator of how well you do offensively, is how much possession you've got. So we're third in the league with 53%. Tackles were not so much this year. Tackles are down, in terms of just our aggressiveness over the board is a little bit down this season. We're not tackling. I'm not saying we're tackling poorly, but we're just not sort of as over aggressive as we have been in other seasons. And I think that may have led to a little bit better defense this season, at least a more efficient defense anyway. As you can see, in terms of least conceded, trying to get that word out, least conceded goals, we're fifth in the league, only 23 goals allowed, so that's pretty good. If we've scored 40-some and only allowed 20-some, that's pretty good. Most shutouts, we're number one with 12 shutouts. So our backup goalkeeper came in and had 2 shutouts. Good for him, good for us. And that just shows that defensive improvement that I was talking about. All this other stuff is kind of useless. The only thing I really wanted to point out is I found these new stats. You can look at detailed team stats a little bit so you can see the whole league. And so we can finally look at attendance and see where we are in attendance. And I got to tell you, it ain't good. Average attendance, we are, can you guess where? We are at the bottom here, 20th in average attendance. It's only 13,000. That's pretty low. Now, average attendance by capacity, are we better there? Not so much. I mean, we're a little better there, but we're only 14th in capacity. So it's just, again, it comes down to why aren't the fans showing up? I mean, we're number one in the league. We're winning all these games, especially at home. We're scoring a lot of goals. Just a little bit disappointed. Maybe if we win the Supporters' Shield this season, that's when the teams will come, or the fans will come out next season. Because honestly, we haven't won a lot of hardware. I'm trying to think. We haven't won much hardware since the first season when we won the U.S. Cup. So if we can win some of the hardware this season, if we can win the Supporters' Shield, maybe win the MLS Cup, then we'll start getting the fans to come out. But until then, we're going to be stuck here in the bottom of the league. And that, of course, brings us, we talk about fans and attendance. That brings us to finances. So we can go down the checklist a little bit here, just quickly. Finances are still doing well. 27 million in the bank is very good. We made 6 million in profit this season, mostly again from our advertisement and our TV revenue. But still, we're making a tidy profit, even though salary is on the rise. You can look at our salary right now is $4.7 million in terms of what we're currently spending. So that's definitely a significant boost from previous seasons where we were spending just a little over $2 million. So we've doubled our salary in the last couple of seasons. But even so, as long as we don't have any major construction projects, we're going to continue to make profits. And of course, the board is going to continue to be happy with us. We are in untouchable land here. At what are we at? 79%. I'd like to see that get up to 90% if possible, but 79% is pretty good. Again, budget is very good. No construction projects going on. No changes in leadership. The Hunt family still firmly in control. No problems there. They're not going to be selling the team anytime soon. It's not really their style. And then in terms of the club, we're still rich. We're still 3-star national reputation. Hopefully that's going up. I don't know if they have like a decimal point or decimal percentage or anything like that we can look at. But, we're still doing good. Everything is looking good. Training, staff, we can look at the squad, I guess. We can go through, I was looking at contracts earlier because we got some contracts coming up, a lot of contracts coming up that we're going to have to talk about and think about, and I think most of these guys we're going to let go, unfortunately. Kraft, Cannon, Hunter, some guys who have played for us. Holdsworth, Velasquez got their contracts up. Lish, Perry have their contracts coming up. A couple of young guys. An-Hyuk Chol, Tom Fleming. These are guys who, they're interesting guys. They're, they've contributed some for us, but they're just not going to get much better. They're not going to help us win a Champions League, is what it comes down to. So do we let these guys go and make room for draft picks and more academy players? I think that's what we have to do, because we've given these guys their shots. Maybe Fleming and Chol, we could give one more contract, let them get a couple of years older. They're only 20 years old, but a lot of these other guys, Perry's 25. He ain't getting any better. He's not bad. He would be a fine backup, but we need to make room for other players, basically. Same with Velasquez, Holdsworth, Hunter. All these guys are okay players. They'd be fine. If we were doing any other save, it'd be fine just to keep them on the bench. As long as their salaries stay reasonable, we can keep them on the bench and whatever. But for this challenge, we're trying to build through the academy. We need to make room for those academy players. Oh, I guess that brings us to transfers. We could look at transfers real quick. Not a lot happening. Not a lot happened or is happening. We brought up one player from the academy because we needed some help on defense. Brought in Wang Yuan. I believe he's Chinese Taipei in nationality, but of course he's American by citizenship, so no problems there. He's an 18-year-old central defender. He's a big guy, 6'2". He's got 15 strength. He's got the attributes I look for. He's got very high tackling. His marking could use improvement. He's of course a guy we're going to keep our eye on for the future, but we needed him. He was turning 18, so he's going to be leaving the academy. So might as well bring him up when we needed him. And, he's played a couple of games, but that's about it. We brought in Jean-Claude Charles, another 18-year-old we brought from our academy. He's a left winger by trade, but I'm trying to train him into a fullback because he's got that 15 crossing. He's a big guy, 6'4" with the jumping reach. His defensive stats are, of course, lacking because he's a winger, but he's only 18 years old. If we can train him up to at least be a passable defensive player, then he might be interesting for us, out there as a substitute. If we need, some offensive firepower, bring him in off the bench or something like that. So he's an interesting guy, an academy guy, so I figured I'd give him a shot. He's not really taking to his training that well, but, what are you going to do? The other thing we did was we brought Mike Eaton back from loan. He's a guy, he's got very good potential. He's got very good stats at the moment, and he's been improving while he's been out on loan. So normally you'd keep a guy like that out on loan if he's doing well. But again, we needed defensive help, so we brought him up. And he hasn't played yet, so I'll look at the players who have played and just sort of run down the stats real quick. Reports? No. I always forget what the thing is. Like, there's one of these that, there's one of these reports that shows us all of our stats in a very well. Oh, I know what it is. It's competitions. That's what it is. Competitions, league. There we go. Haha. Found it. See if we can now move these stats over to a reasonable place. Oh, I should have set this up beforehand, but I wanted to look at the contracts. All right, so here we go. Appearance-wise, not as many injuries this season. Lots of guys who made, as many appearances as possible. Jesse Gonzalez, of course, our goalkeeper, 22. Cole, Washington, Zimmerman, Acosta. A lot of the regular names are up there. No problems there, really. Goals, Alcantara is our leading goal scorer with 9 this season. That's down. Usually by this season we got at least one or maybe two guys in double digits in terms of goals scored. But he and Washington at the top of the list. And then we got quite a few guys. It's quite a bit spread out here. Shlowski, our rookie this season, he scored 5 goals in limited playing time, only 7 appearances, 1 substitution. So he's played well in limited minutes. Assists, same thing. The guys you'd expect at the top of that list: Cole and Ulloa, each with 6. Washington with 5. There's Shlowski again with 5 goals, 3 assists. That's pretty good for a rookie season. Alcantara with 3 assists as well. Players of the match: Alcantara up there, of course, with Escobedo and Cole, our 2 fullbacks. Then we'll look at average rating. Again, our average ratings continue to rise as a team. We're definitely getting better and better every season. And surprisingly, at the top of that list is the rookie, Shlowski, with a 7.5 rating. But next to him, Escobedo. He's really improved his game this season. Not quite as many yellow cards, or at least, pretty much the same amount of yellow cards. But they've been coming more spread out. He's been suspended less, and no red cards yet. But his average rating, 7.46, very good. Ulloa, again, another great season, 7.39 rating. And we've had lots and lots of players over 7 rating this season, so we're doing well. Let's see, what else was I going to look at? Squad. I guess we'll look at what we're going to do today. Well, maybe we'll take one last peek at the schedule and just sort of show you the rundown here. We had a little bit of trouble at the beginning of the season. We lost 3 of our first 4, and then, I switched things up. I turned our tactics into a little bit more of a free-flowing thing. We've been playing, a mixture of controlling and counterattacking, and that's worked pretty well for us all season. We've scored a lot of goals. As you've seen, we haven't allowed as many goals as last season. Many more clean sheets. Many more shutouts for our goalkeepers and our defense. We've been blowing some teams out. You look at 5-0 versus DC United here, 5-0 versus Houston in the U.S. Cup, 3-0 versus Colorado, and we haven't been on the losing end of too many of those kind of games, too many of those multiple goal games. In fact, for a while there was a huge stretch in the middle of the season where we never gave up more than 1 goal. So that just again reiterates how good our defense has been. But recently, our recent form, not so good. And I think some of that is I've gotten away from my counterattack strategy a little bit. I've been doing too much standard mentality, and I don't think this team is fit for that. I think we're much more of an attacking type team. So either counterattack or control or attack is really, really the way we need to go. And so I'll try to remember that going forward and try not to forget it when we get to the playoffs. But the game we're going to play today is Los Angeles in the U.S. Cup semifinals. That's right, we're in the semifinals, trying to win this U.S. Cup again, get back in the Champions League. And we've looked very promising. We've dominated most of our U.S. Cup games. Even, we played Royal OKC, a second division team. We beat them 1-0, but we dominated that game with our possession. So hopefully we can continue that against Los Angeles, who's a little bit down this season, just a little bit. Last season they were tops in the league. This season they're down to 5th in the Western Conference. And, so they'll be fighting for a playoff spot. They're not really, they're 6th in the league, but still, it's a very tight playoff race, depending on what position you're looking at. I don't think any of these teams are going to miss the playoffs. They're all 8 points or more ahead of Real Salt Lake for that final playoff spot. So I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the crew when it comes to playoff time. It's just a matter of where these guys are going to finish. In terms of, they could finish all the way from 2nd to 6th, in a very reasonable fashion. So I think, we haven't clinched the number 1 spot, of course, but we are definitely in the driver's seat for the number 1 playoff spot. All right. Let's just get to the game then. We'll take a look at the match preview. Los Angeles, they're going with an attacking formation here, the 4-2-3-1 attacking formation. So, last year they were the league leader in goals scored. We were 2nd in goals scored. So it's going to be a nice offensive battle here. Let's go to our team, and we got some issues with our team a little bit. First and foremost is our main man, Walker Zimmerman, injured for a few weeks here. 3 weeks he's out. So we're going to have to drop him from the list. Now, you saw some of the young guys I brought up, and I don't think I'm going to play the academy player, the 18-year-old. I'm going to bring in Mike Eaton, the guy who was doing well on loan. He's also a young player. He's, 22 now? Is he? 21. So we got to get him in the mix. We need him to start playing and start contributing here, so we see just how far he can go in terms of his development. So I'm going to give him some playing time. He's going to get a couple of weeks worth of games here with Zimmerman out, and I think it's going to be good for his development. So he's got 2.5 stars right now in the central defender role. He's very well fit. He knows our roles. He knows our tactics. So shouldn't be much of a drop-off. Even though Zimmerman's one of the best defenders in the league, Eaton should be able to team with Alex Johnson and be fine. I guess the other issue is our left back. Escobedo's been injured for a couple of weeks. We've been playing our rookie, Sal Bailey. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these two around so that Eaton is paired with Cole on the right side and Johnson is paired with Bailey on the left. So that way we get a little bit more, a little bit more balance in terms of our youth and inexperience out there. Even though Johnson plays a little better on the right side, it's still he should be fine playing the left side. He should be able to switch those positions without much problem. All right. I guess we'll go with our pretty standard lineup. Although I will bring Ulloa in for Thompson. Thompson's a young midfielder. He got called up to the under-20s this year, the U.S. national under-20s, and played very well for them. So I've been giving him more time, a little bit at the expense of Ulloa. Just sort of seeing how much of a transition we might have to make away from Ulloa. He's getting older now. He's almost 30 years old, so you got to start thinking about replacing a guy like that. When we've got a 20-year-old who's making strides. You got to play him a little bit more. But for this cup game, gonna go with the veteran. Gonna go with Ulloa. And speaking of our veterans, I've discovered that some of our core players don't play well in big matches. Cole, Acosta, and Washington are all uncomfortable playing in big matches. So I'm wondering if this is holding us back. I'm wondering how much of a big deal that is. I mean, I'm still going to play them, but I don't know how we track that. I don't know how I decide who's who and what's what in terms of losses. We're going to give him the old number 5, Mike Eaton. Show a little bit of respect for this guy, a little bit of put a little bit of pressure on him by giving him a good solid number, and see if that can boost his confidence. But yeah, in terms of players who don't play well in big matches, how much does that affect them? Does their performance drop that much? Is it that significant? And also, what constitutes a big match? I'm not really sure. I don't know 100% what the criteria are for a big match. Is this a big match because it's a cup game? Is it a big match because it's the semifinals? Or is it not a big match because it's not the finals? I don't know. We're going to apply our coach's advice here to the team, and that's good. Double check our tactics one last time. Take a look at our instructions. We're going counterattack. We're gonna keep our, well, no, we'll drop our line back a little bit, and we'll go more direct passing off the start, just to give the beginning of that game a little bit of a kick. Make sure we don't go down on the scorecard quickly. And then, yeah, let's just go to the pep talk. Overall pep talk, passionate. Come on, guys, show us what you can do. All right, they're excited. So yeah, is this a big game? How do we know it's a big game, and how do we know how much it'll affect our guys? Because these are important players. These are basically the core of our team. You know, you're talking about one of our best defenders, one of our best midfielders, one of our best strikers. How does it affect them? I don't know. So there's Washington getting the ball stolen. Does it mean the ratings go down? Does it mean they'll look to be involved less? And would I be better off replacing them with players who are slightly worse, but maybe less intimidated? I don't know. Because all three of those guys are replaceable in some way, shape, or form. So we look here, we got Cole, already a yellow card. Is that because he's nervous with a big game? I don't know. Our ratings, take a drink of tea here. Clear out the old pipes. Our ratings are a little bit okay, mediocre, 6.8 rating. There's a yellow card for Acosta. Eaton gets the clear, good man. So we've already got yellow cards from two of our guys who are nervous in big matches. So I might want to look at subbing them out. Here's Alcantara. Can he get the ball to Washington? No, he cannot. All right, so we're already 20 minutes into the match. We've had no highlights to speak of. Do we stick with counterattacking, or do we make a change? Oh, there's a bad goal. Morris. Jordan Morris playing for LA now. Our goalkeeper, Gonzalez, he should have stopped that one. Here's Tomori with the cross, and Morris just beats our guy on the left side there. That was Johnson that he beat. That's where Zimmerman would normally be. So here we are now. We're down a goal. And they're taking possession from us. I don't like that. They are moving up, so our counterattack strategy should be working. There's Zardes. I don't like him out leaping Cole. Instructions. Let's get stuck in. See what that does for us. So down a goal already. Can't have this. Might have to make some subs here at halftime. Get Cole and Acosta out of there. Maybe even Washington. Make those our three subs, and see if that makes a huge difference. I guess that would be the litmus test, right? All right, Bailey gets a yellow card too. Tomori's getting too much room. All right, close down on him. Let's get the ball out of there. Johnson. Costa with a bad play. Thankfully. Oh, there could have been a penalty there. Oh, we're going crazy in the box. We're going crazy. Deflection goal. Deflection goal. First goal of the season. Look at that. Never fails. It never fails. People always score the first goals of the season against us in very, very inopportune moments. Here's Martin, just a little centering pass to Tomori, who just winds up a little deflection goal. Not much Gonzalez could do about that when he got turned the wrong way. So, we're looking bad here. Okay, here's a highlight. Alcantara out wide to Cole. Can he get the cross to Washington? He's looking. There's the cross. Oh, they almost got their own deflection goal. But no good. No good. So I think halftime we're going to have to make some adjustments here. Or maybe... All right, let's not even wait for halftime. Let's go on the attack. Let's close down. We still got a good 10 minutes left. So let's see if we can make the most of those last 10 minutes. Get one back, I think if we can get one back, we'll have a chance in the second half. We'll have the ability to close it out, maybe even get the win. Well, I guess there's no draws in the cup. It's it's a win or go home, nothing in the middle. So all right, Eaton, let's see if you can get that. No, but Gonzalez makes the save. Jordan Morris, man, he is a troublemaker. He is a real troublemaker up front, especially when we have a little bit of a diminished defense. How did that stay out? Zardes tried a little back heel kick, and it bounced right off of our man guarding the post. I don't know how the first one stayed out. Gonzalez, that looked a little offsides. There we go. Zardes offsides. Wow, that just saved our bacon. I don't know what happened there, but I'm happy for it. So we got a ton of yellow cards. We're gonna yell at these guys a little bit passionately. I expect to see a much better showing in the second half. All right, so we're gonna take a look at tactics here, and I'm gonna make the moves. Bring in Joshua Mendez for Cole, the youngster, only 21 years old, right defender. 6 foot tall. He's got a lot of good physical abilities, physical stats. He's a brave young man. Works well within the team concept, but he's nowhere near the player that Cole is. I just got to hope that his positive attitude rubs off and gives us some kind of advantage going forward. And then, of course, I'm going to take out Acosta, bring in Van de Castile. He's a solid contributor for us. He's still only 22 years old. It's kind of hard to believe. He's been with us for so long. But, yeah, he's a fine option at defensive midfielder. So that gets rid of 2 of our yellow cards and gets rid of 2 of our players who don't like playing in big matches. So hopefully this improves our fortunes in the second half. I really don't want to go through all this trouble to finally get to show you guys a game and have it be a loss. But this is how our performance has been the last couple of weeks. I don't understand it. We had a few games where we got down early, especially those draws. We get down 1-0, 2-0, and have to go on the attack and come back. So maybe I should just cut out the middleman and just start attacking from the get-go. I might have to make that experiment here in the next couple of matches. Here's Alcantara, gets the ball taken away a little bit. Zamora's there, out wide. There's our new man, Mendez, not looking comfortable. But he gets it to Washington. Sort of a weak header. A little bit of a weak header there, but at least we got some kind of highlight. Now here they are on the other end. Hooper on the far sideline. Centers it to... Ooh, what was that name? I'm not sure. There's Morris into Zardes. That's a tricky combination for us. But Gonzalez makes the easy stop. So at this point, I don't know what we can do. We can give the boys, the lads, the old pep talk here assertively. Oh, Van de Castile with a free kick. No good. Assertively, let's tell them to get creative. And that's about the only thing we can do on our instructions, is we can tell the boys to get a little more creative. There's Bailey with a nice steal on the back end. Very good job. They get a free kick. Here's Hoopa. Oof, that was a dangerous kick. Luckily, it was wide. Coming up on the 60-minute mark, Washington is tired. We'll probably get him out of there at the 60-minute mark for our third substitution. Tell our boys to be more expressive. Okay. So here we are. Maybe we get to highlight Washington. I mean, look at Washington. He's just not playing. He's not playing well. He's not playing hard. He looks intimidated. You know, in other games, he would have gone after that ball with a little bit of zeal. Mendez making a nice play. Ulloa. Get it up to Alcantara. See if we can get it back out wide to Mendez. I'd prefer to be playing down the other side, but down the left side, but you know, make do with what you can. Now here's LA on the counterattack. They're slowing it down some, so we definitely need to get out there and close down on these jokers, get some steals. This is looking bad. Morris gets the ball deflected. At least our back line is holding steady after that first goal they gave up. You know, since then they've been pretty decent on the back line. Can't blame them for the deflection goal. Ortiz with the cross. Gonzalez, easy save for him. Alright, we're coming up on this 60-minute mark. Let's get our substitution in there. We're going to play our man, our youngster Schlowski. Put him in there for Washington. Now, he's not a target man by trade. We're going to make him a poacher. See if he can do some dirty business on that back line. See if he can break through that back line of LA and maybe get us a goal. We need a goal soon if we're gonna come back and make anything out of this. There's Boateng making a run down the sideline. This is no good. Oh, sorry. Morris. Gonzalez with a big stop on Morris. You know, they're counterattacking us fairly effectively. And that's not good. There's Johnson. All right, Van de Castile, Pomical. There's Schlowski. Oh, he makes a nice pass. And then a bad kick by Zamora. We've already made our 3 substitutes, so there's not much we can do here. We are starting to get more highlights, though. This is good. Alcantara, Zamora. Might have to... Oh, there's Schlowski. Gonna make a play. Oh, I thought that was gonna be a goal. That was a nice attempt. But if you remember, he is a selfish player, so you know he's gonna take a lot of shots. And I guess that's good at this point. But we might need to up the tempo of our attack here if we're going to get back into this game. Take a few more chances. There's Zamora to Alcantara. Can he make the pass? There it is. There's Schlowski. He doesn't have the match fitness, unfortunately. Concentrate. Maybe if we can just focus his concentration a little bit, he'll be able to get one of these goals back. All right, we've taken a time warp here up to 76-minute point. Let's see if there's any other instructions we can make. We can have them close down much more. We can have a higher tempo. We're already attacking. I don't want to go into overload just yet. Flexible. We can go fluid. Just see if we can do anything to get these guys motivated and attacking. You know, this could be a real issue going forward if we want to win some of these championships. If our best players are not comfortable in championship games, it's going to be very difficult to win these championships. Here's Boateng, another run over the top, but Gonzalez is there. Luckily, we've got Gonzalez in goal. He can erase a lot of mistakes. Not every mistake, obviously, as we've seen, going down 2-0. There's Morris with another dangerous header. Doesn't look promising here. Doesn't look promising. All right, we're going to go overload. See if we can get a goal back and take that off. Just tell our guys, get forward. Do whatever it takes. So Alcantara centers it to nobody in particular. And now they're just wasting time by bombing it downfield. It looks like they're dropping back in defense, and they're going to try to take the air out of this match. I don't blame them. That's what I would try to do. There's Alcantara. Fires it. Ooh, that looked like I might win a corner for us, and I think we do. So there it is. There's the corner. 86 minutes down. Not a lot of time. We need a goal like right now. And this isn't going to do it. Morris is going to collect it for LA and just boot it downfield. Oh, Boateng has beat our defense downfield. This is not good. This is not good. See if he can center it. He does. This could be the end. Nope, Gonzalez is there again. He's just keeping us in this match with sheer force of will. But if we don't score a goal or two, there's no point in whatever it is he's doing on the back line. All right, there's a bad play. All right, offside, Schlowowski. 91 minutes down. This should be just about the end of the match. There it is. Full time. Disappointment. We lose in the semifinals of the U.S. Cup. Let's not say that. Not happy with your performance out there. It's one of our goals this season. So now we got to focus all of our energy on winning the Supporters' Shield. That's what we need. That's going to be our focus. All right, so I guess that's it. We'll come back with season finale and then the playoffs, and hopefully we can have more some better results in the days to come. So see you then. Bye.